Let me tell you what, when a new immigrant comes to Israel and has a Passover dinner in Israel with the plate and the shank bone and the lamb bone and the bitter herbs and the salt water and the wine, and it's just different than it is outside of Israel. I myself, for me, it was also very different outside of Israel when my dad would lead the Passover, whereas coming here, you're joined with all kinds of new immigrants, all kinds of people who were born here, sabras, and you realize new immigrants are the ones that actually have a journey to go through to be settled, to be acclimated, to be attached, to be integrated into this land and people. I do know that every family, when they open up their Passover Haggadah, most of them are in Hebrew. We've made an English one, so people can join us that speak only English around the world, because often we'll invite, part of the welcoming of the stranger in to your Passover table is what we do, and we welcome in the foreigner and the stranger, and we go and have the Passover together. I'd say that over the years, we've developed our style more. Our style. Like sometimes we'll add in Passover jokes. That's one of the things I love, some Passover jokes. In different ways. And the style is always tailored to the family. Every family has a different thing. Often the dad will tell his story of how he made Aliyah. Or just like Moses and all the 12 tribes and the journey to the Promised Land, and Joshua. And do you know that the children of Israel crossed the Jordan River on Passover? Right there was the Passover time when they crossed in. Same thing, Passover was when the Red Sea parted with Moses. So you have this Joshua, and then you have Moses, and you have the parting of the Red Sea, the parting of the Jordan River. And we're still in this story together, and immigrants still need help. I know it was hard for me when I first came to this land and had to try to get my bearings. I am so excited to be able to be part of building legacy. And legacy is a lifetime. When you touch a life, that's an eternal thing. I always, when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, what can I do today that's eternal? You don't want to do things that are just physical, or that will end by the time the day ends or a little later. Even those who thought, like Herod, thought he was going to do something eternal by building these most amazing monuments like Caesarea by the sea, like the Herodion, like Masada. And so he built these amazing things and said, my name will last forever. I still talk about Herod sometimes when we take people there, but what's really eternal is impacting a life, impacting a new immigrant's life as they come here and have their first Passover, have, let's say, gifts for Passover, food, clothing, shelter, giving them job training, Hebrew school. The new thing we're trying to do is an incubator for their ideas, their dreams, and their passions to be written down on paper. Connect them with an investor in the accelerator stage. So we're working on that, always working tirelessly with a very small team, really, to impact these lives, which will have an eternal legacy and an eternal impact. Especially now, we feel this whole bring them home, and I wear that. I've been wearing this for 523 days. Bring them home now. And a lot of people wear this because we want the hostages to come home. But the Bible calls new immigrants like they're captives. And it says, bring them home from captivity, bring them home to the Promised Land. And that is what we're all about. Bring them home now means Isaiah chapter 49, verse 22. It means that the children of Israel will be brought home by Gentiles, by nations who are part of this story. Just like Jethro helped Moses, just like Ruth the Moabite woman helped Naomi make an Aliyah. Still to this day, we're seeing there are people standing in the gap to carry them in their arms and the daughters on their shoulders to the Promised Land and make a lasting legacy. So friends, I want to just ask you, this Passover, when it says next year in Jerusalem, will you consider helping a Jewish person to be able to make their home in Israel, not just in Jerusalem, maybe even the Galilee, to make their home and their legacy here as anti-Semitism rises globally? Again, 2.2 billion people, half of the adults in the world hold anti-Semitic, anti-Israel thoughts and perspectives, which are lies. And we want them to be able to not fall to that deception, but to stand with the promises of the Bible and the Judeo-Christian values and be part of the great redemption. It's one thing to leave Egypt, but it's another thing to leave the Egypt of the mind. That's what we want, is full freedom. Happy Passover.